For today's episode of Florida Roadside Attractions and Abandoned Places, we head into Hardee County. This is a very special episode. This is my second attempt filming around inside the town of Wauchula. If you remember several months back, I made a video called Everything Was Erased. I Lost Everything. I came out here and I made a video, explored this area, and I got back home and my footage mysteriously was erased. So hopefully if you're watching this video, it didn't get erased. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I am Tampa J and this is Real Florida. Wauchula, a very small rural town off of Highway 17. This will actually be my third time visiting Wauchula in the last 4 years. The first time I came out here, I created a video about the Bloody Bucket Bridge, a legend, Florida folklore, about a midwife who haunts this bridge where she used to toss the dead off of, dead infants actually. I made a whole video on that, and the last time I was out here and I created that video, which I lost, I went down there and I told the story again, and I told how the bridge was cursed, and a lot of weird things happened to me the last time I was out in this little town. I was being followed by a white truck, and I documented that. I lost that footage, wasn't able to put that out there. It was just a very odd and off day to get home and lose all of the footage. Thank you for clicking on this video. I started this series back in 2020. It is some of my most favorite content to create, simply getting out there on the back roads of Florida. Most of the time showing things that have been never filmed before, never shared on YouTube at least. So yeah, let's try this again. If I lose this footage, you would have never seen this. So if you're watching, I think we're gonna do it. Let's hope. I am Tampa J, and there is so much ahead. And so we begin on this historic orange grove farm just north of Wauchula off of Highway 17. I've been here before. Just back here at the end of this road, beyond the orange grove, it's where I started the first video. I've got Subaru Vision on the hood. Rolling back here, you can see there's several orange trees. This is still being taken care of. There's just a lot of old buildings and barns out here, houses. And in the back, the way back here, there's some railroad tracks. And this road dead ends right here at these railroad tracks. This is where I began the first video, the video I lost. I actually had just a few moments of that video that actually made it, just a couple shots to set things up. I did share all of the bullet holes in the stop sign. Look at that. People have been coming out here making this stop sign and this private railroad crossing sign as target practice. I see a lot of 22, and I see some larger bullets in there too, maybe 9mm. It really added to the vibe. There's also a cattle pasture over there. That property owned by Mosaic. So I want to recreate this because this is literally the last shot of that video that was erased that I got before I lost the footage. I had edited the video all the way up to this point. The last shot was of this house, so I'm kind of risking it. Maybe there was an entity inside. Maybe this is a haunted house and it didn't want to be in the camera. Messed everything up. I'm really taking a chance right now filming it again. But hopefully we will progress. Isn't it creepy looking? Reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And right before you exit the farm, almost back to 17, an old electric box that's no longer being used. No power. Just thought I'd share that. Mother Nature taking a toll upon it. I saw this sitting beside the road, and it sure did bring me back. Look, it's the old lunch tables. That is exactly where we used to eat lunch back in our elementary school days. Like, that's awesome to see that. This is just sitting beside this vacant building beside Highway 17. It's weird. It's weird what you'll get out of your car and look at, isn't it? That's awesome. So random, just sitting by this tree. Okay, pulling off the road here off of 17, just north of Wauchula. I've seen this house for several years, and I said I gotta stop here. I did not film this the last time I was here. There is a for sale sign out before the road, so technically we can walk around. Let's see if we want to buy this place. There's a double carport right there. Yeah, all boarded up. Looks like this property hasn't seen people in a long time. Classic mid-century doorbell. Look at that. Don't think it works. And here's the backside. Every window boarded up. Nice little roadside relic. It looks like at one point they had direct TV. And there's several acres to this property. Look at this. Lots of room for sale. Right here north of Wauchula. Okay. Let's get to town. And here we are entering Wauchula, north side of town. Hoping everything goes according to plan. Now, you're not gonna get the most natural reactions in this video because, as I said, I've already been out here before, but there are several things I'm gonna show that I didn't show before. Now on foot, 6th and Highway 17, right out there, the Wauchula Water Tower, just before the Napa Auto Parts store. Hey, Napa Auto Parts used to work there. I stopped here because of this park and this memorial, a giant airplane out here. I've been here 3 times. This is my 3rd time here. This is a nice memorial to the veterans who served from Wauchula. United States Air Force. Now, comment below if you know what type of plane this is. I would say it's from the 1950s or 60s. Looks like it used to fly. It's really cool seeing this. I always see it on the side of 17 as we're passing before downtown Wauchula. Cool to see it again. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I was once in the United States Air Force ROTC program at the University of South Florida. And I was going to go into the Air Force and become an officer, just like several of my great uncles before me. Shout out to them for their service. But I was badly injured in an accident that summer before I was going to go to boot camp, and my whole way of life, my thinking changed. Even though I had an injury, I perhaps would have passed the physical, but I decided not to go in. But I did really enjoy the ROTC program. That was some fun stuff. I got to march and drill and learn all about the Air Force, and I got to go to the Air Force bases. That was a fun couple years, so I just wanted to add that here. Downtown Wauchula, just passing through. I'm gonna head south. There's something on South 17 in Wauchula I want to show you, and then I'm gonna come back to downtown. Last time I was here, it was a Saturday, and there was music blasting. There was a lot of people. It is Sunday. Look at that. Very dead down here. I'm gonna head through this alleyway. Like I said, I'll be back to downtown shortly. There's something up here I really want to show you the next couple stops. And right off of 17 by the Waimama Farmers Market, a big food and vegetable exchange over there, produce. Right here is an old Roadhouse. This used to be a restaurant, a tavern, several establishments, and I believe once a roadhouse, a motel. As you can see on the top floor, the door is wide open. I was here about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago now, and that door was open. I'm gonna take a peek. It is for sale. There is something I found out back I think you're gonna wanna see. This is really cool. It's still back there too. You can hear the cars behind me, trying to be careful. My back's like right up on 17, downtown that way. Yeah, for sale. This is actually a little more cleaned up than the last time I was here. I remember these red doors. This is really old. Take a peek inside the window if we can. Yeah, work in progress. Someone buys this, they've got a lot of work to do, especially if they're gonna open it back up. Speaking of Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. They're gonna remake that movie. Actually, they already did. I think it comes out later this month. Jake Gyllenhaal will play Patrick Swayze's character. I can't think of his name. Walking over here to the back of the property to show you this. Yeah, this place has seen better days. Be a really cool roadside stop. Would be a great location for an attraction. Maybe a nostalgic roadhouse bar or tavern. Okay, here we go. Check this out. This right here is a boiler. Just sitting back here for who knows what reason. Kewanee Boilers, and it's got the tag on it and everything. I remember showing this the last time I was here. Does Freddy Krueger know you're back here, buddy? It's pretty sweet. There's actually like a toggle switch there, a control. Who knows why this is back here? Maybe they were trying to make it like a barbecue smoker. Maybe this was a barbecue place at one time. Just very weird and odd to see this sitting here. Back on this fence line. Food market right behind there. Yeah. Let's see if I can open this up. It's open. And the boiler is cold. There's all kind of trash in there. Just trying to find a year on this. Can't really make it out. Maybe someone can identify these numbers and let us know. That is a legit cool find, my friends. I'm glad I made it back here to show you this. Couldn't wait to come back and make this video. It took me several months, but I did it. It's a cool gauge. Didn't see this the last time I was here, but just off the site here to the right, there's just a abandoned building sitting back there. I don't think anyone's using that thing. Just vacant. And one of the most exciting stops of this trip. I couldn't wait to get back here. This was such an awesome find. And I really was upset about the whole video disappearing, but especially this stop right here. That is an old Taco Bell sign. And this building right before me, this abandoned vacant building, was last a Taco Bell. Now inside there, I'll show you, it hasn't changed. It's aged a little bit more since I've last been out here. There are relics of a very 80s or 90s Taco Bell. Now, this building originally was a Captain D's, and if you know anything about Captain D's, one of my favorite seafood stops, they always have this unique entrance, like a intro doorway before the doorway. So this is definitely built to be a Captain D's, but it was last some time ago a Taco Bell. We're gonna take a walk around and peek through the windows. Check this out. You can see where the bell was mounted right there, and the words Taco Bell once sat inside these windows here. Are you ready for this, you Taco Bell fans? Look at those booths. When was the last time you saw those vintage Taco Bell booths with those turquoise colors? Also, they left that plaque there with a wolf and the Sorora cactus. And look, it's the Alamo. There's no basement in the Alamo. There's no Taco Bell in the Alamo. That's cool. There's one of the vintage chairs there. I would love to have one of those chairs. Looks like there's several of them back there. Yeah, they left some of the booths and some of the chairs. And back there to the left and the right, I believe, are the restrooms. This is definitely an old school Captain D's. This is how the Captain D's look like in my hometown in Newcastle, Indiana. I'm gonna go all the way around the building. This is exactly what I did the last time I was here. Can't really see what's going down from this angle. Looks like, yeah, it looks like a lot of paint cans and stuff in there. And the drive-through menu with Taco Bell still written on it. Speaker box and all, still there. Someone spray painted closed for business, you think? Also, there's a Pepsi sign right up here. Check that out. A very 90s looking Pepsi symbol that I think it's been turned upside down. This is so cool that this is still here. Excuse me, I'd like to have a Mucho Bel Grande, please. Who remembers that? That was one of my favorites. Mucho Bel Grande, not Nacho Bel Grande. You can still, oh look, this. They spray painted out the Taco Bell sign. You can still kind of make out the bell right there. That's cool. And I first discovered this building when I was on a road trip about a year ago with Mark Muncie and Carrie Schultz. We went down and checked out the Jack the Ripper bar in Delray Beach. We stopped here for breakfast, and I got out to use the restroom, and I looked over here and I saw this beauty, and I said, you know what, I gotta come check it out. Little did I know I'd actually have to come and then come back to revisit it, to capture it all for you guys. Let's go through the drive-thru. So I would say, yeah, at least 5 or 6 months the last time I was here, and this door, this drive-thru door was open. It's now been sealed, but you can still see through here. There's the front counter. Notice the menu, parts of the menu are still up there. Taco Bell, bro. And Captain D's. Check out the floor down here. Ugh. What a mess. Just up forward a little bit. The main area where you walk through. The benches are still there too. Abandoned Taco Bell, or vacant Taco Bell. It's all about how you look at it. Doesn't look like this building is currently for sale. It looks like the owner is just hanging on to it. And now back on Main Street, Wauchula. 17 kind of runs right down the center of downtown, splitting it east and west, dividing it. We're gonna park right up here. There's quite a few things to see. I'm gonna be on foot for the next several minutes of this video, much ahead. And I have parked before the Chamber of Commerce building right down here in Wauchula. Check out this mural. This guy's turpentining right there. All the industries. I see a sawmill. I see the Cracker Cowboys. I see agriculture. There's a watermelon field. I've shared this mural a few times. It's crazy. I feel like I was just here. I'm happy that this video is out there and you guys are watching it this time, hopefully. Hopefully. Gonna go all the way down to the right. And there's a park right behind me in the main thoroughfare. It looks like they're fixing the brick here a little bit. Shout out to the artist who created this. This is awesome. I don't see a name anywhere. Notice the Mosaic symbol. Phosphate industry. Mosaic. One of their corporate offices is right here in Wauchula. I showed it last time. I'll show it again. Oh, nice. Just before this park over here, public restrooms. Those will come in handy. It's so quiet around here. This fountain that sits right in this park, before the gazebo, before the building I just showed you, and before the Main Street buildings, just setting up the vibe right here. This is a very clean and lovely town. Oh, that feels good. Nice little mist coming off the fountain. Sun's coming out behind the clouds, from behind the clouds. Check this out. See a lot of bricks in here, donators. I see Mosaic down there. What a beautiful day. Wish they were all like this. And then behind me, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Florida Recreation Development Assistant Program, Wauchula State Bank, all the donators to help this park be possible. A plaque right before the street, just to show you what's going on. The last time I was here, I got a coffee in this Kava Cafe coffee shop, which sadly is not open on Sunday, so I will not be recreating that moment and showing you the inside of that coffee shop. It was pretty good. Good coffee, good iced coffee. Look how dead it is out here. Other than traffic. I mean, what traffic? Whoa. We're out in the middle of South Central Florida. I think it's just us out here. We're the only people on foot. Out on the west side of town, there is a Pioneer History Museum. We're heading that way. Also, we're gonna pass by the Hardee County Courthouse. It's just up here to the left. I'll show you other stuff along the way, but I'm just setting it up. Like this main plaza bistro and bar that looked like it used to be a roadside hotel. I bet there's rooms up there. Wonder if they're still being utilized. It's a really cool bar. 222. That's the first car I've seen in a few minutes. Building new beginnings from old traditions. I like the symbol of Wauchula there. Sandhill Crane. This house over here, I remember sharing it before. Some sort of business. It's an old bungalow. Look at this. This is actually Sherry White's Ministries. This is like a church. It's just a cool old house. I like it. There's also something off to the right here, like a storefront that's attached to the building. It's got like an awning hanging. Yeah, this is part of the ministry. Really old building. This sits just a block away from the courthouse, right up there to the left. Looks like they're closed today. And across the way there, two buildings, two houses really, offices for Mosaic, one of the largest landowners and phosphate harvesters of Florida and in the world. Hardee County building. This is one of their buildings on Main Street. It sits to the left of the courthouse. Look at that. I always enjoy seeing this courthouse. It's very square. It's very pretty too. Very nice building. Notice all the county vehicles out here. We've got code enforcement, we've got IT services. Looks like that. I can't make that out from here. I can't read that, but these are all the county vehicles. And this Mosaic building, which, as you can see, had to be once just someone's house, is the Office for Land Management and Public Affairs. It's an awesome bungalow. Oh, there goes a truck. 2 cars, look at that. And right next to it, this building. That looks newer. It looks like they built this additionally. Just another office for Mosaic. This was the Beeson house. There still is. They've got a history plaque right before the actual historic home. In 1912, William B. Beeson Sr., a lawyer and teacher, and his wife, Catherine Chambliss Beeson, built their family home on Main Street. The 14-room house, wow, was one of the largest in Wauchula at the time. Lumber was hauled by wagon from Lakeland to the home site. The home remained in the family until 2004. That's the year I moved to Florida. William and his brother, Dr. James Beeson, owned a farm with pedigree hogs, chickens, pheasants near this home. So check it out. A little then and now for you in the screen. The Beeson house, now owned by Mosaic. Okay, now back to the Hardee County Courthouse. Across the street, much ahead. And look at that. Thanks to these awesome plaques, I'm doing a then and now. Looks like this was built in 1927, according to this plaque here. Looks like in 1907, the Hardee County Courthouse property was conveyed to the city of Wauchula for 300 bucks. The city deeded the property to the county on September 22nd, 1923. And this courthouse you're looking at here, about to get closer, was erected in 1927. There was a huge housing boom in the 1920s in Florida, one of many. That was one of the biggest ones. The Roaring 20s, I think that's what they used to call them. Right before the Great Depression. Ooh, there goes a bird. I've walked up to this fountain several times. Beautiful landscape before it too. Just a plain looking fountain, but it's really cool. I like the blue tile. Got little lions squirting out water there. Very tranquil. Looks like this is dedicated to the men and women of Hardee County who served in Operation Desert Storm. It's a very cool building. It looks like it is closed today. It is Sunday. Government buildings not typically open on Sunday, so we will not be going inside. I didn't get inside last time either. Yeah, that's a pretty one, isn't it? Omnibus Justitia. Need to brush up on my Latin, but I think that's saying always justice. I don't know. Comment below. So quiet. Hear the birds. Hear a crow. Maybe an owl or a whippoorwill. Kind of reminds me of the courthouse from Back to the Future. Just needs a clock right there. Maybe it used to be here. The last time I was here, my whole video was erased. There's something weird going on in Wauchula. I always have a weird vibe when I'm out here. I feel a weird vibe. It's the flags. No cars have gone by. Wow. I think I hear one coming. Okay, let's keep going. All right, I think, you know what? I'm getting confused with another town I explored. I thought there was a pioneer village out that way. I'm thinking of Fort Meade, which is also on Highway 17, just north of Bowling Green. So there's, it all runs together. I never do this. I never come back to where I've been before. I don't say never, but you know, to film an entire video. I thought there was a pioneer town over there, but it's not. That's a different town, but there's still much ahead. And this is a church right here. I can hear music. I think I hear praise and worship. Hear it? Church service inside. Sunday morning. I'm sure there's a lot of that happening around Wauchula. I'm gonna make a right down there. That corner right there, gonna take a right, just as I did several months ago. And look at this, just beside this building. I love seeing these. The directional signs pointing the way and the miles. Got Canada, 974 miles to the north. We got Thailand, a long ways away, plus 2,000, oh, how many miles? I think like, oh wow, like 14,000 miles. China, 7,300. Belize, Malaysia. It's really cool. I like seeing these. And I once shared this building before. And the sign, it says Restoration Depot. This sits a couple blocks off of the courthouse. You can actually see the flagpoles I showed. That's Court Street. Yeah, just a cool old building. I'm gonna peek in the windows, just like I did before. Not much going on in there. Looks like this is currently being utilized for storage. Definitely has seen better days. Giant building. Just sitting vacant or abandoned, however you look at it. There's another church. I can hear something coming from the inside. Another service going down. That's a beautiful church, by the way. Very old one. And working my way through downtown. This building here, the Herald Advocate Printers and Publishers, a very classic mid-century brick building with the local Hardee County newspaper paper box out front. Always like seeing that vintage sign. Yeah, I've shared this before too. The Herald Advocate, 2023 winner of 18 awards for journalistic excellence. Here's the local news. It looks like this paper last updated February 29, 2024. Looks like this is home of the Wildcats right there on the door. Here's this sign. Check this out. Just love stuff like that. That's a classic. Herald Advocate. This is where they print the local paper. And it's right across the street from the building that I first showed you, the mural right there. There's the front side. City of Wauchula building. Chamber of Commerce. And back on Main Street, I believe that's 122 Main Street. That building right there looks to be, once was, a theater. And I love my theaters. I shared this the last time I was down here. Also right next door, it says River Revival, another church, but that looks like it used to be some sort of a general store or a public market. I see like a Masonic symbol up there. This map on the corner puts things into perspective. This is where we are right here. This is the park, the fountain right before me. I walk down here to the courthouse. Now I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna go over to this area. Actually right there, the Historic City Auditorium is my next stop. Now I've showed this several times. Yeah, there you go, take a screenshot, it'll last longer. That's where we're going. As I'm backing out here, I see a little police activity up there on the corner. Hardee County Sheriff's Department. And I have returned once again to Old City Hall, Wauchula. This used to be the old Civic Center. It was also the police department and fire department when this building once opened. It's very old. Check out the Spanish tile. Very Moroccan or Spanish, I like it. We're gonna get closer, gonna read some signs. We're gonna go around, I'm gonna show you where the fire station used to be. I've shared this once before, twice, never came out, and here we are for the third time myself. This is now the Hardee County Players Club. A production coming up from March 15th to 17th, and also the 22nd through 24th. Beware the Ides of March. No, it's actually called Twice Upon a Time. Here's another one of these historic markers. A historic photograph of this building. It says the City Hall of Wauchula was built in 1927, the same as the Hardee County Courthouse, for the cost of $80,000. Wow. Yeah, this thing's almost 100 years old, and it's beautiful. You can make out the words City Hall and a tile right there in the limestone. And the second time I was here, the last time that didn't make it into the video, this was the point where I was being followed by a white truck, and it looked to be a city vehicle. I don't know if it was like just someone who worked for the city that thought I was up to no good. I remember standing on the corner, firing up the camera and documenting it, saying there's a truck right there, he's been following me. He followed me actually all the way from the Taco Bell. I took a different route this time, followed me all the way here, which was weird because I wasn't trespassing, I was on public land, but who knows? Always something weird happening. In Wauchula, Mustang. And in 2020, actually about this time of year, this was like a produce stand slash a burger stand. I got a hamburger there at this old time gas station. Now it's just a produce stand. It wasn't even open the last time I was here. There was no one here. This is right across from the building. So this portion over here I want to show you. That's the stage right there. That's the tall part of the stage. That's the auditorium. This, you can make it out. It even says fire station up here today. This used to be the bay doors to the 1927 Wauchula fire station. Looks like they're repairing the sidewalk here. Yeah, just a cool feature here on the back side of the building. I love seeing old fire stations, theaters. Cool that they preserve that. Yeah, so back in the day, it was a one-stop shop for all the municipalities and departments in these small towns. It's the backside of the Civic Center. Then you got the water tower right there behind me. It's a motorcycle about ready to take off. All right, I think we're gonna head down to the Bloody Bucket Bridge. If there's anything else that pops out, in the meantime, I'll stop and show you. There's much ahead. We're heading that way. They're heading that way. Really clean town, nice streets, very old buildings, very old houses. Look at that beauty. So to find the Bloody Bucket Bridge, you gotta go out to the Peace River. Something just came back to me. That day, I went east on this highway out of Wauchula and I saw a brush fire and I saw fire trucks and brush trucks responding to it. I got a little bit of it on camera. That did not make it into a video. That got erased as well. Another weird happening that day. All right, so here we are. The bridge right up there to the right. We're gonna get out, walk down below it, all around it. Looks like there's someone down here launching a canoe. It's a nice little boat launch. There's the Bloody Bucket Bridge. I returned for my third time. This time, hope everything goes well, according to the plan. There it is, the Bloody Bucket Bridge. Not the original bridge, but the location of the former bridge. The legend has it that the midwife who would shockingly, disturbingly deliver an abundant amount of Wauchula infants, hundreds upon hundreds. This is the legend. There's different variances of the stories, but this is the one that I've heard the most. Shout out to Mark Muncie. He's been out here before. He's told the story. The midwife, who was a freed slave from Virginia, I believe, or North Carolina, married a white gentleman and they lived in Wauchula. And it was her job, if you don't know what a midwife is, it was her job to help deliver babies. And something happened, and every time that this midwife would deliver babies, the baby would pass away. And she would claim that they were born, stillborn, meaning, trigger warning, meaning that the baby came out with no heartbeat. She would grab the baby, claim it was stillborn, rush out, come down to the river, all the mess of the birth in a bucket along with the stillborn baby. She would come up to the bridge and she would toss it into the water. Here you go, car passing over the bridge. So it is said that on a full moon's night, if you come out here at midnight on a full moon's night, that the water will turn blood red, or blood itself. So you can see it's very murky water, the Peace River. This river runs quite a ways north and south of here, right down the heart of Florida. I'm gonna climb over here and tell you a different variant of the Bloody Bucket Bridge story. Gotta be careful. Remember the graffiti down here. Ooh, yeah, watch your step here. Don't want to make that bloody. Nice cool breeze under here. as I said before, twice before, this feels like a really peaceful place. No pun intended, the Peace River. Just a beautiful river. This river is known for prehistoric finds. Down in the body of it, in the belly of it, they find all kinds of fossils, specifically shark teeth. There's a lot of roadside canoe and kayak places that advertise shark teeth because there's a lot of prehistoric finds. When you go out, you dig your hands down the sand and bring up shark teeth, which I should do that sometime. Back to the story. So another variant of the story, years ago, we're talking late 1800s, there was a Bloody Bucket Tavern which sat up here on a hill. It was either on that side of the river or that side of the river, not quite sure. But it is said that the Bloody Bucket Tavern was one of the most dangerous, violent bars in all of Florida. And there was actually stabbings there, murders there. And it is said that the legend kind of came from the legend of Bloody Bucket Bridge, which is right here and would have been next to it. Also, that story was made in that bar down there. There is no historical documents to confirm the existence of a midwife who basically murdered babies back then. The story goes a little darker. Sometimes people say that she was taking her revenge out on the white settlers. Her coming from, you know, a slave background. That is just what's written. There are other stories that someone got drunk in the bar and told the story in the bar and it became legend. The Bloody Bucket Tavern, Bloody Bucket Bridge. Some say that the tavern was named after the bridge. Some say the bridge was named after the tavern. That's the problem with these legends and folklores. They are so much fun, and sometimes they're more fun to think about different possibilities, the fact that there are different variants and stories of them. But those are the main two stories of the bridge. Now, it is said that this place is haunted. There have been paranormal teams come out here. There's several videos on YouTube. A lot of people have been out here to document. There have been unique and weird disturbances caught on camera. You can find it out there if you want to dig deeper. But the fact of the matter is, I came out here and something happened to my video. The first time that ever happened to me, and weird things happened that day. I came out to a haunted bridge and I talked about it, and I made a mistake. I kind of taunted the ghost, and I said, I've done this before. And I said, if you're real, then why don't you show yourself? Or something like that. Just testing it. Which I want to apologize right now for doing that. I have the most respect for whatever is out there, the strange and unusual, what goes bump in the night. And so my apologies if I offended the spirit of the Bloody Bucket Bridge. We come back and we come in peace, my friend, and we will leave in peace. This is so beautiful, isn't it? If it weren't for the road noise and the people over here, would be dead quiet right now. Dead quiet. The Bloody Bucket Bridge. The ghost of the midwife. Yes. There could be bodies buried all around us. One would think if they built this bridge, dug all around it, that those bodies may have been found, but nope. Maybe they floated on down the river and out into the Gulf of Mexico or into Lake Okeechobee. I think that's where this goes. That was over 100 years ago. Now, according to that sign up there, this is not called the Bloody Bucket Bridge. It's called the Griffin Bridge on Griffin Road, just southeast of Wauchula. See that sign up there? Really quiet out here, as it should be. You can hear the guys in the kayak a little down the river. That's about it. Yeah, what a beautiful day to be out exploring. Really grateful for this time that I could come back and explore once again what I've already explored before. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, but that's the first time it ever happened to me where I could not explain why it was totally erased. For some reason the universe wanted me to come back out here and do this all again. And if you're watching this video and it's out there and you watched all the way to the end, I did it. So thank you so much for always joining me on this channel for whatever it is, what type of video it is. I really appreciate you guys. If you like this one, please feel free to share it. Please give it a thumbs up. A lot of you watch on your TV, which is awesome. I can't believe I'm in your living room. That still blows my mind. But if you could do me a favor, it doesn't have to be right now, but eventually if you could go over to the device, open up the YouTube app and specifically give this video a thumbs up, that really helps. Thank you so much for doing that. It means a lot to me. You guys mean a lot to me. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Again, this series, one of my favorite series in all of this channel, Florida Roadside Attractions and Abandoned Places, made it a thing in 2020, and we're gonna keep exploring. We've been a lot of places, and there's still more Florida to see. This is real Florida, folks. That was Wauchula. And I am Tampa J. There's much ahead. Know you're awesome, know you're loved, and no matter who you are, what you're going through, just know there's always much ahead for you. I believe that in my heart, and I feel it in my soul. Thank you guys. There you go, passing over Bloody Bucket Bridge. We'll put you out the window. Okay, heading northwest, right there. Thanks for watching, guys. Love ya. Always much ahead.